Hi, kindergarten. Welcome to Writing Workshop. Today we're going to talk about how you, as the writer, can make your characters speak for themselves. You can always tell the reader what they're thinking or what they're saying, but you can also do a few tricks so that the characters are speaking for themselves. For example, in Mo Willems' book about Elephant and Piggy, he uses something called speech bubbles. And speech bubbles are a really fun way to have the characters speak for themselves. It's called dialogue. So that's one way. We're going to practice that today. And the other way is using something called quotation marks. And I'm going to teach you how to do that also. So I want you to go get your whiteboard and marker ready, or a piece of plain white paper and a pencil will work too. All right, go get that ready and come back. All right, kindergarten, we're going to start today with a speech bubble. A speech bubble is one way you can have your characters speak. And when your character speaks in the story, that's called dialogue. So it's a way to create dialogue. All right, so we're going to practice speech bubbles this morning. And we're just going to start with a simple character of a snail. All right, so I'm going to create a snail. So snails have a shell. So and we're going to do a spiral to create this shell, because that's fun to do. Okay. Then we'll create, they have kind of comes out. This. He's got his antenna come up. And because it's a fictional character in a story, I'm going to give him an eye and a mouth like that. All right, so just make a simple snail for fun. So, all right. Well, my snail is going to speak, and I'm going to use a speech bubble for the snail to speak. So first thing you have to do is decide, what do you want your snail to say? So give that a think. Remember, snails are usually in the garden. They eat plants. They crawl along the ground. I can give it a ground here. I'm just going to keep it simple today, and I'm going to have my snail say, I'm hungry, right? Now, here's my advice for speech bubbles. Do the writing first, and then draw the speech bubble around it. Otherwise, the speech bubble won't be the correct size for your letters. So I'm going to write, I'm hungry. And when you do a speech bubble, you need to keep what the character is saying somewhat close to that character, right? We're going to do it somewhere close. Like, I wouldn't write this way back over here. I'm going to do it somewhere near the mouth where it would be talking. And then once I've done the writing, I'm going to make kind of a little point like this. So that point is pointing to the mouth. All right, so it's easy for the reader to know, oh, it's pointing to the snail. The snail is saying that. And then what I'm going to do is come up and draw my circle around like so. I'm hungry, with that point coming down. Now, by writing the words first, I could get the circle the exact correct size. The circle's not too big, it's not too small. Okay? If the character is saying it, then that's when you do this triangle shape, like so. But if the character is thinking, I'm hungry, then what you do are little circles. So you do this, you close your circle, and then you do circles like this. And that means they aren't saying it out loud, they are thinking it inside their head. So they're thinking, I'm hungry. So if you do circles coming down, that's thinking. Okay. If you do a triangle, coming down, then that is speaking. All right, so stop the video, and now I want you, with your snail, create a speech bubble or a thinking bubble and decide what do you want your snail to say. So practice that for just a minute. And after you've practiced your speech and thinking bubble, then start the video again. And I'm going to show you another way that an author can have their characters speak. All right, well, now that you have an understanding of speech bubbles and how you can use a speech bubble to have your character speak in your story, there's another thing you can do, which is called quotation marks. And let's look at the book, Duck and a Book. I love this story by David Shannon. All right. Here's the first page. I'll read it to you. One day, down on the farm, Duck was having a great time. Duck had just gotten a wonderful, funny book. So on this page, the author is telling you what's happening. Let me zoom in here a little bit more. Duck rode past Cow. "Hello, Cow," said Duck. "I just got the funniest book. Come and see." Now, there's something different in these sentences. Do you notice right here? I'm going to zoom in. Do you see those two little lines right up there next to the H? Well, those are called quotation marks. Can you say it with me? Quotation marks. And quotation marks are very important to the writer, because once you put a quotation mark in, that means the character is now speaking, not the author. So Duck rode past Cow. "Hello, Cow," said Duck. The duck said, "Hello, Cow. I just got the funniest book. Come and see." So now Duck is talking. David Shannon's not talking anymore. Now the duck is talking because David Shannon used quotation marks. And I'm going to teach you how to do that too. All right. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to use my whiteboard. If you have your whiteboard and you have the side with lines on it like this, that works great. You can also use just plain white paper. All right. So let's go ahead and stick with the character Duck. And I want to do this. So I want you to put 2 short lines like that. Okay, that's your first quotation mark. And then I want you to write the word hello. It's the beginning of a sentence, so we're going to start with H. Hello. And then I want you to write your name. Write your name. Okay, so I'm going to write Miss Pollock. You write your name right here. And then you're going to put 2 more quotation marks. We put quotation marks at the beginning of what's being said and at the end of what's being said. Hello, Miss Pollock. I also need to put a little comma right there. It's a bit of a comma means there's a pause, just a short stop. Hello, Miss Pollock. Now we're going to write the word said. Now, as an author, you're going to have to learn how to spell said. S-A-I-D. Even though it sounds like an E, it's A-I. It's a crazy word. Hello, Miss Pollock. This is your name. Said Duck. So Duck just said hello to you. And you just wrote your first dialogue. Quotation mark at the beginning, quotation mark at the end, said, and then you put the name of the character. Well, Duck just said hello to us, so we want to say something back to Duck. Hello, Miss Pollock, said Duck. So I'm going to say, Hi, Duck. Actually, Duck is a name of the character, so I should use a capital letter. Hi, Duck. How are you? And I'm asking a question. How are you? Now I'm done talking, so I'm going to put my 2 quotes. Again, 2 little lines at the beginning, 2 little lines at the end. Hi, Duck, how are you? Said. Now, this time I'm talking, so I'm going to write my name. You write your name. There we go. Okay. So kindergartners, you have 2 different ways you can add dialogue to your story. You can add quotation marks at the beginning and at the end of what you want the character to say. The beginning and the end of what you want the character to say. And then you also have to write said and the name of the character so that the reader knows who just spoke. It's a little tricky, but with practice, you'll get it. So one way is to use quotation marks. Another way is to use speech bubbles. And you can use both in a story. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can use both in a story. Okay, you can have quotation mark sentences down in your writing, and you can have a speech bubble up in your pictures. You can do that too. All right, this week, kindergarten, in your fiction story, we would like you to try at least once have a character speak somewhere in your story this week, using either quotation marks, speech bubbles, or both. But try it out this week and have at least at one time in your story, a character is speaking. All right? Thanks, kindergarten. Have fun.